Hello everyone, it's Alexandre Faragizek here. Thank you very much for coming back to my channel. And today on this third video, I'll be talking about a very powerful emotion of the human being, which is anger. This subject, I have been asked by some of my clients throughout my career of these 30 years, and some of my colleagues and professionals of other areas. We need to understand first the basic important difference between anger and aggression. One being the emotion, the feeling, the other one being the behavior of the person. We're going to be talking as well about the four main reasons for anger, where this comes from, and perhaps the connection between other emotions of the human being. Third, we're going to be talking, and I will try to dive into the etymology of the word anger. Again, to help to understand, for instance, from the old High German language, where this word might have come from. And finally, we're going to be talking about what to do when we feel angry. Yeah? So stay with me, stay tuned. Coming back for the first part. Anger and aggression, two very different words, need to be understood clearly by all of us. Anger is an emotion, is a feeling of the human being, one of the basic feelings of the human being. While aggression is the behavior, is the action, is the act of acting out the anger, the emotion. We have several different ways of acting out that anger, yeah, in a form of aggression, but also in a form of words. And then we're not aggressive necessarily anymore. So anger is not bad or wrong for sake, yeah? Aggression, indeed, there is that element of bringing some kind of hurt or harm to someone else, or to the person, or to both. So that is the basic difference of the two important words. Okay, the next part of the video is to talk and understand the main four reasons of anger. When we started to understand those, become more clear, and then we don't get as angry as before. And that's one of my hopes of my video. So one of the first main reasons, I like to call as one of the main, because it's one of the most common, okay, is when we are faced with our own powerlessness. Yeah? When we do not accept that we are powerless over a situation or someone else's behavior. That frustration starts to build in, and then we eventually explode if we do not address in a more healthy way. Second main reason is when we feel, you might have felt and experienced this situation before, I certainly have myself, is when we feel some kind of physical pain, yeah, stomach ache, headache, and we get irritated, frustrated, annoyed. That's the second main reason for anger. Try to observe in your own life. Put your comments below. It'll be really helpful, and others will appreciate, I'm sure. The third main reason for anger that I have seen throughout my clinic is when the pride. We all have pride inside of us, which is another kind of emotion of the human being. We have two different prides, yeah? We have the ill pride, the sick pride, and we have the healthy pride, yeah? I will start with the healthy pride. So imagine that if you are competing, yeah, and you know, after all your effort, and you get on the line and you cross the line, yeah, and that kind of vibration, that kind of celebration from yourself, from perhaps some others, yeah, and then you feel proud of yourself. So that's what I'm calling as a health pride. The sick pride is slightly more difficult and subtle to understand, but stay with me. Let's imagine that someone might make a negative comment about you in front of others. Sick pride is related to humiliation. Is when your ego get punctured, yeah? When get inflated and then explode. Then you get angry. Yeah, when that sick ego, pride gets exposed, when you become vulnerable in front of others, very likely that there is some kind of irritation there, frustration. Yeah. And the fourth one, which I'm leaving for the last, because we'll connect with the next chapter of this video, which is fear. We're going to be talking about the etymology in a minute, and fear is actually one of the origins of the word anger. Yeah? One of the roots of the word anger is fear. Again, it's to do with vulnerability. When we wear that mask, yeah, that sometimes that bravado, yeah, and when that is exposed, we become defensive. Again, the words and the reasons might overlap, yeah, and does not mean that is one or another. The main four reasons of anger, they can certainly overlap more than one. I don't remember any moment when all the four reasons are all together in one situation, but maybe you have. Please let me know again in the comments. Yeah? So the fourth main reason is fear. And again, we're going to be talking on the next chapter about some of the roots of the anger. Okay, so the next part is to try to understand some of the root of the word anger. The word in Latin of anger is to do with suffocation and anguish. In Avestan, the word anger means strangulation and distress. In the ancient Greek, means squeeze and strangle again. As I was saying in the other part of my video, the Old High German of the word anger means fear. If you really note, one of the most common amongst those throughout the history is to do and related to suffocation, repression, suppression, which in one of my videos in the future I'll be talking about depression. Some authors have actually mentioned that depression is nothing more than a suppressed anger, a non-expressed anger. And here we go, root of the word anger as a proof of this fact as well. Anger being a squeezing, a strangle, a strangulation, an anguish, suffocation, etc. Let me know if you know any other origin of the word anger. Very much interest to hear from you. Okay, so one of the last part of the videos is to talk now about what to do when we feel angry. Now that we understood the difference between aggression and anger. So one of the techniques that is common mentioned in clinics and different settings by different professionals is the breathing technique. Meditation sometimes also helps. Sport, physical activity. Sometimes when you are able to note that you're getting angry and frustrated, if you step back from the situation, also might help. But remember, it's not about bottling it up. It might explode at some point. So try to return and reflect when you're on a calmer way, calmer state of mind, to discuss with the person in question about the reasons why you feel that way. So again, repeating, physical activity, breathing techniques, stepping away from the situation. There is another one which is more usually indicated for when we really cannot control and become more often and regular, seeking for professional help. So just a really recap, we spoke about the differentiation between anger and aggression. We spoke about the four main reasons of anger, what to do with anger when we feel angry. We spoke about etymology of the word anger. Really hope that you enjoyed the video. Really looking forward for your comments down there below. Lots to come. Thank you very much. Great to be here with yourself. Thank you.